Do we have to talk about Joe Mixon? Do we have to do it? Let's just do it. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off. Let's just do it. So, is he going to be there?
I joined the podcast.
Is he going to be there by default as their number one guy? Is there room for him to get moved? If he stays there, what are we doing with him?
Listen, I don't know why they would keep him because they can cut him and save a lot of money. But at the same time, like, if they don't have any plans for the money, then maybe not. But there's Ezekiel Elliott out there. There's Leonard Fournette. There's Kareem Hunt. Possibly Dalvin Cook. Like, any of these guys, I'm not saying they're going to be better than Joe Mixon, but they'll do exactly what he can do. And they're going to be much cheaper than what Joe Mixon is going to make this year. So I don't know why you wouldn't just like change those out, because I don't know. He is the definition. If you look up the definition of mediocre running back in the dictionary, his picture would be right there. But the issue is he always has that one huge game every single season. He has the one huge game that he goes off where it very much like skews his end of year fantasy numbers. He did that again this year in week 9, 55 points. Okay. Well, that's going to change everything. There's only 17 weeks in the or 17 games in the fantasy season. So it's like, yeah, that's going to skew some things, but he's meh until those games. So this is a fun little note. He scored more than 18 fantasy points in PPR league twice all season long. Do you want to know the guys that also did it twice this past season? Kenyon Drake. Well, he had more than that. So okay. Yes, but Kenyon Drake, James Robinson, Jeff Wilson, CEH. You know who had more? Samaje Perine. He had 3 such games in the same backfield as Joe Mixon with way less opportunity. It's just, there's nothing fun about Joe Mixon. Like the best of the best, Austin Eckler, Josh Jacobs, CMC, Henry, they all had 9 and 8 such games with more than 18 fantasy points last year. Mixon had 2. He's a fine RB2, but he's going to be more expensive than he should be. Like he always is. And people are going to hype him up as a potential RB1 this year. No, he's never going to do it.
19 running backs have had at least 500 rushing attempts over the last 3 seasons combined. He ranks 16th out of those 19 in scrimmage yards per touch. He is one of only 2, and I will say the only other one is Najee Harris, to average under 4 yards per carry in that same span. He's so dependent on volume, and now he's going to be 27 this week, or this weekend. No, not this weekend.
Happy birthday, Joe.
Whenever the hell that is. He's going to be 27 this season. And like he's averaged 14 points per game in his career that far. Like not great, not terrible, but like when you're looking at the history of aging running backs, and yes, 27 is kind of old for a running back, especially one that has a significant amount of touches. There have been just 9 running backs to average more than 14 fantasy points per game since 2015. Derrick Henry, LaShawn McCoy, Mark Ingram each had 2 seasons where they averaged more than 14 points per game at that age. And the rest, they're elite. Like these are elite players. And Joe Mixon, to this point in his career, has not lived up to the hype of the potential and talent. It's not worked out. And I don't know why we're banking. Like the one outstanding season he had, he scored a crap ton of touchdowns. And
my prediction is that one of Fournette, Hunt, or Zeke are a Bengal by the time we hit week 1.
I don't want Zeke to be a Bengal. I don't want Zeke to be anything more than happy. Just be happy at home, Zeke, but don't bring it onto a football field right now. I would love Leonard Fournette to be there, on the other hand. Let's say he moves. Is Chase Brown of any borderline interest to you, or Travion Williams, or any other running back?
Captain America,
Chris Evans.
Definitely Captain America.
So what do you guys think about Chase Brown? I feel like that would be one of those just flyer picks and see what happens. But are you guys excited about him if Joe Mixon weren't to be there?
I'm excited from the perspective of what Samaje Perine did. Like there is a world where another guy could prosper in some small way, and it costs nothing to get him on your team. So for that, he'll be on my dartboard at the end of the draft, but I don't expect a ton.